epitome of the commands of Christ. Psalm 119 verse 9 to 11 says, "How can a young man keep his way pure? By guarding it according to your word. With my whole heart I seek you. Let me not wander from your commandments. I have stored up your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you." Jesus also said, "Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Teach them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom, but he that doeth the will of my Father." Concerning God. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and all thy soul, and all thy strength, and all thy mind. Fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in Gehenna. Glory in the Lord, not in man. Be imitators of God. Be like him in his kindness to the undeserving. Pray to God always, and faint not. Pray with brevity and simplicity. Pray secretly. Have faith in God. Cast your care upon him. He knows your need and will provide. Give yourselves to his service without reserve, recognizing that you cannot serve God and mammon. In everything give thanks to him, for this is his will and pleasure concerning you. Recognize him in all your ways, saying concerning your purposes, "If the Lord will." Come out from the world, and be separate unto him as his sons and daughters. Concerning Christ. Let Christ dwell in your heart by faith. Give him a higher place than father, mother, husband, wife, children, relations, houses and lands. Set your affections upon him, and not upon the present world at all. Take him for an example, and follow in his steps. Abide in him. Do not let him slip from your memory and affections. Call him to remembrance every first day of the week in the breaking of bread, as he has appointed. Be not ashamed to confess him before men, at the same time taking care to expose not your holy things to the profane. Aim to be in a state of continual readiness for his coming. With this in view, be on your guard against the engrossments of business, the cares of life, and the allurements of pleasure. Endure to the end, submitting to hardship if the necessary consequence. Hold fast your confidence and rejoicing in him till you die or he come. Concerning brothers and sisters. Love one another with a pure heart fervently. Brethren, not to exercise lordship over one another. The greatest to be as the youngest, he that is chief as he that doth serve. Christ's example, the illustration of what is meant. Not to be angry without righteous cause, and to take care lest anger, even in that case, lead to sin. In case of breach, to seek reconciliation, and exercise forgiveness to the utmost extent. In case of sin, known or heard of, speak not of it to others, but tell the offending brother of the matter between thee and him alone, with a view to recovery. Grudge not, judge not, condemn not one another. Shut not your ear to the needy, relieve the afflicted. To seek not your own welfare only, nor bear your own burdens merely, but have regard to those of others. Be of one mind, and follow the things that make for peace. confess your faults one to another. Concerning the stranger, let your light shine before men. Hold forth the word of life. Say to the perishing, Come. Agree with your adversary quickly, submitting even to the wrong for the sake of peace. Do good to all men, as opportunity may allow. The Samaritan succoured a stranger in distress. Go thou and do likewise. If even thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. Pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Render not evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing. Bless and curse not. Resist not evil. Compel not the restitution of stolen goods. Avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. As ye would that men should do unto you, do ye also so to them. Walk not as other Gentiles walk. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Be not conformed to this world. Come out from among them, and be ye separate. Walk honestly toward them that are without. Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Be blameless and harmless, as the sons of God in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation. Concerning your own character, be ye holy in all manner of conversation. Without holiness no man shall see the Lord. Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, not fools. Gentle, meek, kind-hearted, compassionate, merciful, forgiving. Old and young to be sober, grave, sincere, and temperate. To be hearty in everything. Whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men. To be watchful, vigilant, brave, joyful, courteous, and manly. Be sympathetic with others, both in their sorrows and in their joys. All of you be clothed with humility, not proud, minding not high things, but condescending to men of low estate. Be patient towards all, especially the weak and erring. Put away anger, wrath, bitterness, and all evil speaking. Follow after whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report, virtuous and praiseful. Abhor evil, and abstain from its appearance. Things not to be named, still less practised among saints, adultery, fornication, uncleanness, drunkenness, covetousness, wrath, strife, sedition, hatred, emulation, boasting, vainglory, envy, jesting, foolish talking. Concerning your actions, whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Live no longer the rest of your time in the indulgence of the lusts of the flesh, but in doing the will of God. Reckon yourselves dead to sin, but alive to righteousness, doing the will of God from the heart. Henceforth live not unto yourselves, but unto him who died for you and rose again. To receive, have fellowship with those who conform to the apostles' teaching and practice, loving one another with a pure heart fervently. Be zealous of good works, always abounding in the work of the Lord, wearying not in well-doing. Beware of false teachers. Beware of covetousness. Lay not up treasure upon earth. Be ready to every good work. Give to him that asketh, and to him that is in need, visiting the fatherless and the widow in their afflictions. And give liberally and cheerfully, remembering that the Lord loveth a cheerful giver, and is well pleased with such sacrifices. Do not your alms before men, to be seen of them. Let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Labour not to be rich, having food and raiment, be content. Riches are dangerous if they come to your hand. Turn them into safeguards and friends by using them liberally in the Lord's service, whose stewards we are. Walk in the Spirit, walk worthily. Put off the old man of the flesh, put on the new man, renewed in knowledge after the divine image. Be subject to rulers, obey magistrates, submit to every law and ordinance of man, except where they come into conflict with the law of Christ. Be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Concerning your thoughts and speech. The harbouring of unlawful desire is divinely reckoned as guilty action. It is forbidden. Mortify therefore, or hold in subjection your members which are upon earth. Remove all causes of spiritual stumbling or hindrance from your path, even at the risk of pain and loss. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt. Let no filthy communication proceed out of your mouth, but sound speech with gravity and sincerity and simplicity. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. Speak every man truth with his neighbour, lie not one to another. Swear not at all, let your communication be yea, yea, and nay, nay. Out of the same mouth ought not to proceed blessing and cursing. Concerning matrimonial relations, at liberty to marry whom you will, only in the Lord. Husbands and wives not to separate, except for adultery, which will exclude from the kingdom of God. A husband or wife becoming a believer without the other, not to leave the other, if he or she consent to a peaceable life. Husbands to love, honour, and cherish their wives. Wives to love, submit to, and obey their husbands as the head. Concerning parents and children. Parents to bring up their children in the enlightenment of the truth, and to have them in subjection with all gravity. Children to obey their parents in all things. Concerning masters and servants. Masters to be kind, just, and considerate. Servants to be obedient in all things to their masters, not with eye service as men pleasers, but with all faithfulness, as unto Christ, even if the master happen to be a bad one. But servants are at liberty to leave. If the master be a brother, the servant, also a brother or sister, instead of rendering a slacker service on that account, is to show a greater measure of obedience. Concerning disobedient brothers and sisters. If any man obey not the apostolic commands, the brethren to have no company with him. To avoid those causing divisions. To withdraw from everyone walking disorderly or not in accordance with the apostolic precept. To put away wicked persons. To reject or receive not into fellowship those who consent not to the doctrine or the commandments of the Lord Jesus. Concerning the assemblies of brothers and sisters. All things to be done decently and in order. All things to be done in love and in mutual submission. Sisters to keep silence and to dress modestly and in sobriety. The brethren at liberty on all questions of eating and drinking, and the observance of feasts, Sabbaths and holy days, except that they are not at liberty to do anything inconsistent with holiness or the glory of God. The two commandments. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. You shall love your neighbour as yourself. All of God's wisdom is based off these two commandments. Encouraging references. John 5 verse 24. Truly, truly I say to you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life. He does not come into judgment, but has passed from death to life. Colossians 3 verse 23 to 24. Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. Romans 2 verse 6 to 7. He will render to each one according to his works. To those who by patience in well-doing seek for glory and honour and immortality, he will give eternal life. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labour is not in vain.